Keeping a person's attention, in my opinion, is very fucking hard. And this is a weird phenomenon that I'm experiencing with myself. But given like given my experience, I'm really wondering if everyone is like this with everyone and if people are just pissed off about it while some aren't. And just let me paint you a picture. Like, you're going to talk to somebody, not a relative, just somebody. You start saying a few things, like this person is aware and they give you their initial attention, but as you like keep talking, they like just lose interest, and you can just kind of tell like they're just not paying attention to you anymore. One of the biggest cues is they'll like look down, or they'll like physically like turn their head, or they'll like start to fidget and look uneasy. This is pretty fucking weird because most of the people I've been talking to are displaying these types of behaviors. And when it happens, I get kind of insecure to the point where I'm talking faster to kind of get my point across. But thinking back at that, that's pretty fucking cringe. And I'm kind of, spanking myself to kind of stop doing that and to just maintain my pace. But like, Jesus Christ, even when I do try to like keep conversations like concise, like keeping my points concise, I still fucking experience it. Like like yesterday I was selling a car and I was trying to explain to the buyer like some of the quirks about the car, and fucking he wouldn't like pay attention to me at all. Like, he would just like try to shoot his attention somewhere else, and I thought it was weird. But thinking about it now, I honestly think he was most likely intimidated by me, because if he can't give me his attention like a normal person, he's just resorting to power plays so he would feel like I don't have more dominance over him. That's I'm very sure that's what was going on, but I'm just like, dude, I'm telling you what's wrong with the car before, like, I'm not leading you on, okay? This is wrong with the car. Pay attention, motherfucker. And no, like, he was just so adamant about like being the man and like getting his own way. And I understand no one likes a salesman. Um I don't think anyone likes enthusiastic people, because like it seems like the more enthusiastic you are, or playful, or energy you are, I feel like people are just very intimidated by that. And I understand, like, if that's kind of who you are, you may come across as like too strong, and like coming across as strong is, I think it's off-putting for sure. So maybe it's not totally his fault. Maybe I should maybe scale myself down a bit. Not sure, but even when I'm like not being that way, I still find people just very uninterested in like what I'm saying. I know most people like talking about themselves, and most people just won't shut the fuck up talking about themselves. But it can't be everyone who's down to only talk about themselves. It honestly kind of seems like people are just waiting for their chance to speak, and definitely feels like people just want an audience. So, speeding up your talking to not lose their interest, that's pretty cringe, and I agree. It definitely signals insecurity. So what's the solution to that? Like, if you're cut off like mid sentence, it kind of seems like maybe the best thing to do is just to like keep your mouth shut and just maybe let the other person lead you. They miss out on information, but as long as your end goal is still like in the back of your mind, I guess it's okay. Like in this example, my end goal was a certain amount of money. So, and that's kind of what I did, like I just kind of kept my mouth shut and just kind of let him do his thing. And when it came down to the negotiation, like you better believe like I didn't let this motherfucker breathe. Not at all. Like he wanted to kind of keep me suffocated through the whole transaction. But when it came right down to it, I fucking choked him out. I got the money like I wanted. Uh he was kind of pissed off about it, I can tell, but at the end of the day, I was the one who kind of held the power because I was the one selling the shit he wanted, but honestly, I don't know, like interactions like these, they kind of teach you for the next one. And that's why I always, or that's kind of why these days I'm appreciating like all transactions with people. Whether if they're good, whether if they're bad, they'll give you a reference for next time on how to like conduct yourself. And yeah, but one core fundamental that I think like would really benefit everyone, and it's definitely benefited me, is to shut your fucking mouth. Like, stop cutting people off mid sentence. That is so fucking annoying. Another one is honestly just listen. Like, just fucking listen to them. Like, look them square in the eye. Give them, like, really hard ass eye contact. Like, just fucking stare into their soul. But as long as you're listening and maybe taking a second or two to respond, I don't know, maybe you could just keep yourself more grounded in the present moment by just doing that. So that's definitely been kind of like my code, my ever changing, ever adapting code of conduct with other people. And I don't think it's going to change, just keep your mouth shut and listen. Ask insightful, worthwhile questions. How direct should you be? You should really just feel the other person out. If they're like a blunt person, be blunt back. If they're passive aggressive, I don't know, just be blunt. Passive aggressiveness. It seems like that's society's kind of standard, is just to be passive aggressive about everything. I think it's very pussy coded, but I don't know. Hell, if I didn't found myself being passive aggressive. But actively being passive aggressive, like, I think it's whack, but who cares what I think? Yeah, peace.